when the PMRC came and they went to, there's this whole thing behind the scenes where they went to the head of sales at Sony and said they were going to do this whole campaign about the record Feel Like Shit Deja Vu and try to get banned. And they're like, went to me and their whole point was you need to change the name or you're going to have all these problems. And I went back to them and quoted them. I said, hey, look, half the stores already don't carry it. They can't double not carry it. And then you see what happened to Two Live Crew.
Welcome to the Here to Zen podcast, your genre-free home for music, stories, and inspiration. Here, we celebrate sound in all its forms. From chart toppers to hidden gems, heavy riffs to chilled grooves, we believe great music has no boundaries. Our goal is simple, to share a love for every kind of music, connect with the artists who make it, and dive into the stories that shape their journeys. Whether you're here to discover something new, revisit an old favorite, or just vibe with the universal language of music, you're in the right place. This is more than a podcast. It's a community built on passion, curiosity, and the joy of sound. So plug in, turn it up, and let's find the zen in every beat.
Hey Mike, how are you, man?
Good, good. How you going?
I am really good.
Oh, good, good. It's pretty early, so
Dude, you've lived in Queensland, it's fine.
yeah.
Now, I gotta say, this current lineup of suicidals is absolutely ferocious. Like it's such a ferocious lineup you've got. What made you get these guys in the band, like Jay, and what made them the right fit?
Well, it's interesting because if you go back to when Suicidal started, I was 16, and a lot of the first people that we got into the band were very young when they replaced other people, and even going to Infectious Grooves. Josh Freeze was 17 when he started playing with Infectious Grooves, and he played on a Suicidal record. And then he was replaced by Brooks Wackerman, who was 14 when he started playing with us. And then he was replaced, um, or Ron Bruner, who was 17 at the time, and his brother Steve, who's Thundercat, who's doing crazy good on bass, was 16. And before that, Josh Paul, he was 17 when he started playing bass, replaced Robert. Robert was like 20 when he started playing. And it was never a matter of the age. People always get, you got young people, and it's like they're good. Ty was 15, Robert's son, when he started playing with us. But this one was like with guitar with Ben. Just always been a big appreciation to Jet Ben, the way he plays and the way that he did with Dillinger Escape Plan and that type of thing. And so I didn't even know it at the time because I'd never met Ben. We played a lot of festivals, and Ben's always said, he goes, one time I was going to go up and try to say hi, and he goes, he looked at me like a second and it looked like you're going to kill me, and I left the other room, and I always avoided you. And I go, dude, I don't remember that. I go, I can't see anyhow. So, but Ben was like, I think he said he was like 12 or 13 when he started skating and listened to Suicidal, and it really had a lot of meaning to him, and he could tell the difference between other bands. And so he has that understanding of what Suicidal is. And I've known Jay for a while, and I love his drumming. And just, the point like this is great in the same sense when, we had the opportunity to play with Dave Lombardo, before that previously. And so it's just a matter of if people, if they kind of understand, and then they do their thing and in the context of what we're doing, and it's great. And so it's especially playing like we just did the Metallica dates in the States, and you're playing in these football stadiums and these huge places, and there's, you're separated because that the way the stage is set up in the States. It's really great to be playing with people like that.
Well, you've mentioned the dates with Metallica. Now they are, as we call them, the Enormo Domes. So
Yeah.
how's it go for you as the front man, making sure you maintain connection on a stage like that at all times?
Well, the one I'm actually pretty happy that they're not taking that stage that they had in the States and that they've been taking for a while because it's got like ups and downs and there's stairs and then I gotta navigate through Pantera's drum kit and I move, so I'm not used to having to look at my feet and thinking, okay, oh, I'm going down. Oh, now we're going back up. Oh, we're turning, a very unnatural thing for me. Um, so I'm happy it's more traditional setup
Yeah,
for the Australian ones and stuff. But I think one of the things that I find real quickly is um, that people, a lot of people won't know who you are. A lot of people will know who you are, but they've never really had a connection with you. And so they're there and they're got a good attitude. They're checking it out. And then there's a lot of people that have their kids or they're younger, and they just trip out on us, and that's like the best feeling and stuff. So there's certain people I feel like they're watching, like, wait, what's going on here?
yep,
And that's the best. That's what music is about. You feel like people are discovering things, even if they're older. They're like, oh, whoa, this isn't what, you know, I kind of expected, just another rock metal band to be. And so that's an amazing opportunity for us. And I think one of the things is that at the end of the day, whether people will get what we do or not, they will get the fact that we're doing what we want to do, and we don't care if anyone gets that or not. If they do, that's great. They
yep,
don't, that's great too.
yep.
Because as my dad said, your enemies don't call you up at 3 in the morning to bail them out of jail. The enemies don't call you up to borrow money. Your enemies don't call, So people don't like you. It's not a big loss.
Awesome, man. And now you've also got Adrenaline Addict out. First new
Yeah.
song in a while with Nisha Star.
Yeah.
Now it's classic Suicidal, but for 2025. So does that mean this is the beginning of a run of new singles?
Um, so it's kind of a long, convoluted, everything with suicidal is. The song originally is doing this thing with Josh Paul, who was our old bass player, and um and with Nisha. And so lyrically it's actually very suicidal, and we kind of switched, like, well, let's and played it for some people. They thought it was suicidal, and then I did it and tried to sing like on Nisha's part, and it just did not sound right, and it did not have the same lyrical kind of meaning and stuff too. And so we were able to put that out for the tour, and it's going to be on the Cyco Miko record, just signed to BMG. And the Cyco Miko record's going to have like some new suicidal, um, different new infectious grooves, different projects and different things that are done, all these different songs in different ways. First song, like a singing in Spanish, with Robert Trujillo, Metallica helping me sing out on that and putting me to shame. And but all kinds of different things. And it's kind of a roller coaster that that probably should have been condemned, but it's a hell of a lot of fun to ride if
Awesome.
you're not scared of falling off. And so it's fun. So that'll be out beginning of next year, and then the actual Suicidal record will be out after that, and there'll be a couple Suicidal tracks on the Cycle Miko.
Perfect. Now I want to take you back to like 83. Suicidal are
Hmm.
kicking off. You get banned in LA. You can't play LA because apparently, gang related relations and violence and the PMRC are kicking off, and it's that whole thing of, the attention you want you're not getting, kind of thing. And how did you overcome like getting kicked in the nuts like that basically by your hometown?
Uh, you just sometimes you either get on the top of a mountain and you cry, woe's me, or you just have to be smart and just do things better and say, hey, this is the reality of it is, and this is what we do. I mean, when we got signed to CBS, which is Sony at the time, the distribution, they said, over half the stores won't carry you. And they're like, oh, we won't have a problem. And they went and they said, no, they will not carry you. And so I was like, yeah, well, that's just means we could sell twice as much as the other ones. And they all look at me and like, what the hell are you talking about? But we went about things in a way that when the PMRC came and they went to, there's this whole thing behind the scenes where they went to the head of sales at Sony and said they were going to do this whole campaign about the record Feel Like Shit Deja Vu and try to get banned. And they're like, went to me, and their whole point was you need to change the name or you're going to have all these problems. And I went back to them and quoted them. I said, hey, look, half the stores already don't carry it. They can't double not carry it. And then you see what happened to Two Live Crew. They were nobody. The PMRC gets up there holding their record, and it's like every kid, we're trying to buy cigarettes now, and they sold 3 million records and stuff. I go, I don't want to sell 3 million records because some out of touch old people are telling you not to have it, so everybody's going to want to have it. I go, I'll get on those shows, and um, I'm going to be able to express myself a lot better than nothing personal, Luther Campbell or some of these other people that they have on there. And I go, they're going to be giving me millions of dollars of band exposure, that we aren't getting because of a lot of it, because our name. And they went back and they told them that, and they basically backtracked from it and stuff and realized. I go, you look in England, every record that they banned went number one, and I can't remember what it was, but there was a story that there was the first one that got banned that only went to number two, and you sit there and you go on the band's parts. A lot of times that seems to be used to be conniving, and contrived and stuff. But I don't want to be that person. I don't want people to buy or listen to our music or, because someone says don't do it. I want it to be because one of their friends likes it so much. They go, dude, you need to hear this, and that's the music that I got into. That was the few things that I still listen to is someone played. I was like, whoa, what's this? And that's what music is. And me is about, and excitement. So we want to do hopefully get that reaction from other people, that the very few music that meant a lot to me out of all the music I heard, that's what I like to do.
Awesome, man. Now, in the 90s, the band sort of, as Suicidal broke up for a little bit, and you came back out in 1999 with Freedom, and that's sort of when new metal and other genres like that, that the many subgenres were forming. Did you think that Suicidal fit in with that well, or did you have to sort of rethink how you were going to go bringing Suicidal back out into the world?
Well, that was as I mentioned, Brooks was 14 when he started Infectious, and then he got into Suicidal, and Josh Paul that I mentioned on bass, he was 19, and we did put out a Cyco Miko record, and we were doing Cyco Miko Infectious, and we had stopped Suicidal, and on the Cyco Miko set, we started playing some of the old Suicidal songs, at the end, and it was a lot of fun. And it wasn't fun when I was doing Suicidal, and we were all talking about it, and they actually kind of met with me, go, we want to do a punk rock record,
Yep.
and stuff. So I said, okay, well, I don't want to try it. The irony is this is it came out in 99. So it's like it was when the conversation was about 15 years after the first record was out. Like, I don't want to try to do redo the first record again. That would be silly, you know. And so I go, but I'm always doing like kind of more punk kind of things and stuff. And so I wrote a couple songs, and I said, okay, if it fits in with this, you guys go at it and stuff and start writing. And so it was just it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of excitement, and it was great. And probably one of the best things about it is we did the Warp Tour in Australia, and we were playing a lot of the songs before the record was even out. And it was kind of like when you first start out, you don't have a record out. You're just playing songs and no one knows them kind of thing.
Mm.
And it was an irony because a lot of the people maybe saw us when we played with Alice in Chains or whatever. I can't remember how old, but there was someone there, and I think they were like 25 or something. They're like, damn, I feel old at the Warped Tour in Australia in 99 because it was a bunch of little kids, a lot of really young people and stuff. And I remember there was like these kids that were there and they're hanging out. And we were talking. The guy goes, "Yeah, I got your record, blah blah blah, like the first record 15 years ago." And you could see the little kid like 15 years. Fuck, that was wow. How can they be that old? And
Yeah.
and that thing and stuff. And it's so funny, that like the changes. But going back to the main thing, yeah, playing songs to people that didn't really know you, that weren't on a record. It was a chance to be a new band again, and that was a hell of a lot of fun actually and stuff. So,
Awesome, man. I lost your video, just so you know.
oh, let's
That's all right.
see. I'm not sure. Don't.
There we go. You're
Okay,
back. All right.
okay.
I got to
God, my
ask,
phone was just, yeah.
who is Sarsipius and who invented Sarsipius?
Well, I have four kids. You hopefully your parents invent you and or create you. Sarsippius is not an invention. He's a brilliant person if you ask him. But Sarsippius is on the cover of Infectious Groove record, and he is the biggest star in the world in his own mind, and he's not afraid to tell you. He,
Perfect.
he did a brief. We just played two shows in down in Orange County, at a place called the Garden Amphitheater, and we don't get to do many shows because everybody's got their schedules and all their bands and stuff. But he made a brief appearance the first show. He didn't come back the second show, but probably just as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
Sarsippius, he's a legend.
I was very lucky to see you and your brother on the Gold Coast. I think it's going to be like 15
Oh,
years ago doing a speaking show
in Miami.
in Miami, a tiny little skate
Yeah,
shop. And
yeah.
you tell the greatest story about filling your car up at a 7-Eleven and a guy thinking he was going to jump you. It was actually a really emotional night, but a really fun night. Have you ever thought of doing more speaking shows about your career on your own?
Um, I did that more. My brother was there. I was living there, and I look at a lot of ways. Um, there's in the past, there's people that do that, and a lot of them, I just think they're full of shit. And I think that a lot of times you do something like that, you're there to entertain people, and you're the monkey in the circus. And I don't necessarily think it comes off as honest. And in the same sense that you said, if you are, it's just too emotional. It would just beat you up, you know, to do that like night after night. I don't need um well, my dad said, don't worry about people that act crazy, worry about the people that try not to act crazy. And so I was gonna say I don't need no therapy or whatever. But I it wouldn't be my idea of fun. And a lot of things in life that aren't fun are necessary, but I don't think that's necessary. And I'm not a very outwardly social person to begin with. So and I don't drink and I don't do drugs. So, a lot of people that do that, it's like, okay, well, sit up. Yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
Um, but, I keep getting approached, especially with, about my brother and us doing something. But at this time, yeah, it's not really something that I would be really excited about doing.
Yeah. Look, I understand completely. That night was really heavy for everyone in attendance, and you could tell how heavy it was for you and your brother going through some of those stories. So, but
Yeah.
again, at least we got the 7-Eleven story out of you, which still cracks me up to this day.
Yeah.
Um, look, you're here. It's in a few months. What do you want all of your extended Aussie family, because you are an Aussie, whether you live here or not, what do you want us to know about the upcoming shows?
Well, I think one of the great things that my dad always said is the best thing in life is to be able to tell the truth. And the truth is actually good, you know. And over the years I used to always see interviews or see people and I go, man, they're so full of shit. They'll be there and you're somewhere and they're talking, oh, I love this place, is best, and they can't wait to get the fuck out of there, you
Yeah.
know. And so for me, it's great to be able to go to Australia. It's one of the ones we joke we're already planning the next time that we're going there, and things like that, any kind of excuse, and it's like I said, there's nothing wrong with being happy, you know. There's enough people that are miserable and I don't want to be miserable, and I love Australia. I love just jumping in the beach, whether you pick all the beaches in the Gold Coast, and I'm happy, and I just like being there. It's just a little too far to commute, you know, and then with my family and stuff here, it's just a little difficult. But I think the best thing about it is we get to, have the dream come true, whatever. Like I said, playing with Metallica in Australia, that's amazing to be able to um, do our own shows. That's great. And then going to ended up doing a couple Cyco Miko shows in the Gold Coast and the Sunshine Coast. So that's going to be a lot of fun, and kind of alluded to earlier or mentioned the Warp Tour when we played songs that hadn't been released. That gives me a chance to play some of the new songs that haven't been released, and in little clubs, and so it's a quite the spectrum of environments. So I feel pretty lucky about that.
Awesome, Mike. It's always a pleasure. It's a pleasure to talk to you in person, on Zoom, wherever. You're always a straight shooter, and I love the fact that you do not give a fuck what anyone thinks. Um, Look forward to catching the shows. I saw the last show in Brisbane, and it was intense to say the least.
Oh,
All right, man.
yeah, I think that's, like I always says, I said before, my dad said, "Sweat don't lie," and I judge people hard, and I am going from when I was young. Remember seeing bands, and I go, they don't want to be here, and they're going through the motion, and I think you see with people like Ben and Jay, and Ty and myself and Dean, it's like, nah, we're doing what we like, what we want to do, doing it our way, and you know, no one's gonna stop us except ourselves. So
Awesome, man. Australia, get ready for the Suicidals and Psycho throwdown in a couple of months. Mike, well,
yeah,
thanks for your time, man. We'll see you soon.
cool. Appreciate it, man. Great
Bye,
talking to you
man.
again.
Bye.
Talk soon. Bye.
That's a wrap on this episode of the Here to Zen podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. We truly appreciate every single one of you who listens, shares, and supports what we do. This podcast is all about celebrating music in all its forms, and it wouldn't mean anything without this amazing community around it. If you enjoyed today's episode, we'd love it if you could take a moment to rate and review us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you're listening right now. It really helps us reach more music fans and keep the conversation going. And don't forget, you can be part of our online community too. Join the conversation on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. We'd love to hear your thoughts, your favorite tracks, or even what music means to you. This isn't just our podcast, it's yours too. From all of us here at Here to Zen, thank you again for being part of the journey. We appreciate your support more than words can say. Until next time, keep listening, keep keep sharing, and keep finding the zen in every beat.